Hi, welcome back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit. I read tarot intuitively, and today we have another really special timeless pick a card reading. And today's pick a card reading is really special because it's a collaboration between a fellow tarot reader and a dear friend, Justice Jupiter and me. And this was her wonderful idea. And today's topic is from rain clouds to rainbows. And she is covering the first part of this reading, which is what obstacles are you overcoming? How are you overcoming those obstacles? And part two of the reading is what I'm going to be doing, which is how can you find your bliss after overcoming the obstacles that you have overcome. So please do go head over to Justice Jupiter's channel. Go check out the first part of this reading. Go subscribe to her. Go binge watch all her readings. Go show her lots of love. Go really encourage her. And having said that, I'm going to be covering the second part of this reading, which is how will you find your bliss. So we have three piles to choose from. Pile number one, we have kindness. Pile number two, we have rebirth. Pile number three, we have know thyself. So take a minute, see what pile is being called to you intuitively. The description box below will have the timestamp for your pile. And again, remember, these are general readings. So please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. If you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go check out Justice Jupiter on her channel. Go show her lots of love. And I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the kindness card, this is your reading on finding your bliss. And this is part two of the reading. So please do go check out the first part of this reading, which is on Justice Jupiter's channel, which is overcoming the obstacle. That is part one of the reading, and this is part two of the reading. So please do go head over to Justice Jupiter's channel, go show her lots of love, go subscribe to her, go binge watch all her content, and let her know you came from Tarot Yogi. And having said that, this is part two of your reading, which is about finding your bliss. And I just did the whole reading for pile number one. This is me recording it for the second time. I'm just having the most Mercury retrograde ever. I've been just having the most retrograde things happen with me, like the recording just going off. I think I did like a 25-minute reading, and my phone the camera didn't capture any of that. So I'm going to try doing this whole reading again. I already got the cards out. So we have two of lotuses, we have six of double vajras, we have Vishwa Dakini, we have eight of double vajras, Akshobhya, the Buddha of the vajras, nine of double vajras, ace of jewels, three of lotuses, and ace of double vajras. So this is a new deck, and we have the moose card, which was the oracle card, which I had already pulled. So pile number one, I think it's very important for you to get this message, given that everything that has already happened in this very chaotic reading. Clearly you have a lot of obstacles. You have just way too many obstacles, and life hasn't been super kind to you. And you may get really upset when I tell you that all you have to do right now is extend your kindness. That is the only way you will be able to find your bliss. You are light workers. You are my tarot readers. You could do astrology, be a public speaker of some kind, be a Reiki master or something along those lines, yoga, Tai Chi. You could be doing some sort of healing modalities, or even if you have a very 9-to-5 job, you have a very spiritual disposition, and that has a much deeper reason. You're meant to heal a lot of people, and that's the only way you will find your healing. And like I said, everything has sort of conspired for me to not do this reading. I did get a little frustrated when I realized that I have to do the whole reading again. So you clearly have a lot of frustration, right? There's a lot of frustration. A lot of things have been super unfair with you. Life hasn't been exactly very fair, and I don't blame you for that. But you have to understand that even with the little that you have, it is still a lot. You have to understand this. You are like that one candle that is going to light 1,000 candles. You are a natural giver. The only problem with you is you've given to the wrong people. You've given to people who probably didn't deserve your love, and then they made you feel less than. It's going to be different for some of y'all. It was something romantic, others it was platonic or family. But it's very important for you to speak your truth, especially if it ruffles some feathers. I want you to know that you're truly divinely protected. No one can harm you, no one can hurt you. The worst is truly over for you. Your past isn't going to repeat itself. So please get this in your head. It's very important that you realize this, because what you will be creating now is a beautiful legacy. And you're not even going to realize how much of a big deal your legacy is until much later on. And you're meant to alchemize all the things that have happened to you. You need to understand that things have happened to you for a much deeper reason. Things have happened to you for a much, much deeper reason, And a lot of that is you learning to not push pain away. And a lot of your own suffering has existed so you can find compassion for other people. And let me tell you, you are natural healers, and I'm getting the wounded healer archetype. And with that, I would say you're not going to heal till you heal other people. Please take it from me as me, me being a tarot reader. I'm saying this to you, And a lot of y'all even love knowledge over here. A lot of y'all are really into knowledge, but until your knowledge is processed into words, think about it. Let me give you this example. If you had the choice of reading the whole textbook or attending a really good teacher who understood whatever the text was and would give you like a lecture, wouldn't you prefer to listen to that teacher than to read the textbook on your own? You would obviously, choose to listen to the teacher over a textbook. At least I'm saying most people. I know very few people love reading, but I'm talking about the masses over here. A lot of people would prefer a very chivalrous, cool teacher, right? A teacher that can make them laugh, but can still get through the topic and, like give you the essence of what is being taught, and you are that cool teacher, pile number one. I really, really want you to understand, and what is also required of you at your end is to stop looking at your problems as challenges and really start seeing them as opportunities. In fact, start seeing them as ways for you to sharpen your skill. I feel you have been that friend that everyone comes to when they're down and out, and that also has a deeper reason. And we have the 8 of double vajras, and we have the conch shell on it, and we have the blue Buddha. So speaking your truth again is going to be of so much importance over here. I cannot emphasize that enough. You're going to realize the power of your word much later on. Let me give you an example. Again, even if you're a tarot reader, you can learn all the meanings of all the cards. You can buy as many different decks, you can learn as many different decks, but till you forget everything and put the cards to the table and actually give someone an intuitive reading, you haven't really learned anything about tarot until you've, like materialized it with your own words. Again, this is just an example, fit it to your situation. You're called here to be an actor. You're called here to really do that, and I think what is really stopping you right now is a lot of fear. You have a lot of fear right now that is blocking you, that is stopping you, that is not letting you ascend to where you truly need to be. You're really blocked right now, I would say, out of your own fear, because you still have to access that part of yourself that is beyond fear. We all have that part within us that is truly beyond fear, that is untouched by any afflictions that have occurred, on us. There is a part of you that is free of suffering. And you're going to get more access to that part of yourself, and that is how you're going to find your bliss, pile number one. You're not going to find your bliss by how normal people find their bliss. I'm so sorry, you're not meant to have a normal life. Take it up with God, not with me. Don't shoot the messenger over here. But I feel your anger, I feel your frustration. And you know what? I have also been there at one point in my life. So my heart really goes out to you. But you need to understand the grander scheme of things. And you have it within you to understand the grander scheme of things. And that itself sets you apart from most people in your life. So don't underestimate any of this. Don't underestimate any of this, And I feel this file particularly, I feel, you have to do something over and over again. Like I said, I'm recording this reading the second time, and I just hope that the camera is actually recording this time, So, you have this ability to be very, very persistent, and you don't give up. You have true courage. See, again, my voice is going off, Speak your truth. It's very, very important that you speak your truth, no matter who, what is being bothered by you. It's not your problem. It's not your problem to figure out why certain things happened, why people treated you the way they did. That is their karma. What is your karma is to, again, just give people love. Despite everything that has happened to you, you haven't become a better human being. You haven't become a horrible person. You still have so much love to give. In fact, I feel your heart has cracked open even more. And it's only when our hearts truly crack open that we can even love to a greater extent. And we have the Dakini, which is green. And green is the color of Venus. It's the color of Taurus. It is the color of your heart. It is the bridge between your upper chakra and your lower chakras. You get information through your heart, not through your third eye. The information first comes through your heart chakra and then it goes into your third eye, you know. And you have a very, very powerful heart, you know. And you're meant to use this heart to help liberate other people from their own restraints, things that they think are holding themselves back, you know. You have it very much within you to help and set other people free. You're moving into a much greater time in your life. A lot of y'all might be following your North Node right now, and you know, all this only happens when you start following your North Node, to be very honest. And it's very important that you keep on this path, because even a lot of things may not make sense to you. You're truly being called here to listen to your gut, you know. And I feel you will be in much better touch with your higher self. I think right now you're still very, very afraid. I think you're very, very afraid of what is occurring around you. You know, a lot of y'all may even listen to music. So you may be getting certain downloads from music, you know, so please listen to music. I think it will also help you free yourself from certain illusions that you have about yourself. I think right now you're keeping yourself very, very small. You're keeping yourself very, very small so you know, you don't have to hurt more. You know, right now you want to hide. Right now you really, really want to hide. You want to not be seen because people have always misunderstood you. But let me tell you, people who are truly meant for you will only find you if you keep shining your light. And you're truly being called here to shine your light by number one. It's very important that you don't give up. It's very important that you don't give up. And you know, I think what you're doing at a much deeper level here is you're just trying to remember who you truly are. You know, we forget who we are in the process of growing up, you know, and truly growing up is just realizing who we have always been, you know. And you are on this very magical, beautiful spiritual path. You may be seeing a lot of sign synchronicities. You know, let it all relax you, let it all calm you, you know, let it really relax you, let it calm you, let it bring you to a place of bliss, you know, because your bliss only lies in kindness. You know, you have to understand that you are that candle that is going to light 1,000 candles, if not more. You know, that much power you hold within yourself right now. The greatness is not going to come from the sky. It has always been within you. It has always been within you. And you know, even all the bad things happening to you right now is only happening so you realize your greatest potential, pile number one. I know that's tough love, but I feel that is what is truly, truly required and truly, truly needed over here, you know. And we had the Moose card, which reads quite literally wisdom, you know. Let your head and your mind reach to the stars. You keep your feet grounded on earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul. The ancestors speak through you. You know much. Don't underestimate the power of your word. You know, you have ability to channel. And you're meant to channel and heal other people. And it's only through that you will find healing and bliss for yourself. You know, that's the only way you can undo all the damage. By creating more beauty around you. You know, and you're meant to do that. You're very much meant to do that in this life. You know, again, we have a lot of blue on this card. So I feel I've said that like 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it again, you know. Speak your truth. Please speak your truth. You're not even going to realize how much value that it has. You know, just because you've had people around you tell you that you don't amount into anything, you know, that doesn't mean that is true. You know, people only see you at the level they have met themselves. And you have so much more depth than most people around you. You know, a lot of people just go around living in ignorance for lifetimes. You're not one of those people. You know, you suffer more because you're meant to experience greater things, pile number one. And please gaslight yourself in the most positive way over here. It's very important that you do that. You know, and the more you feel you're worthy, the more you raise your self-esteem and realize that you have always been loved, that will set you free. You know, speaking your truth will set you free. You know, you're meant to be a pillar of light. You're meant to be a guiding light for a lot of people. Even if you don't see this about yourself, pile number one, it's very important that you understand this. You know. Any other messages? I hope I covered everything. At least what I could remember. Yeah, another message I really want to give you, pile number one, is you will have a lot of abundance coming to you the more you follow this path. You will be able to create stability out of your talent. You know, a lot of y'all could be singers, dancers. You know, you could be slam poets. You could write books or whatever. You know, whatever creative talent you have, you're meant to create abundance out of it. And for my singles in this pile, I want you to know that you have a partner coming to you very, very soon. You know, you're going to share your bliss. Your bliss is not just going to be yours. Like I said, you know, you have been put on this earth to give your love, to give your kindness, because people really need it right now, pile number one. People like you are really, really wanted on this earth. You know, there's so much healing that is required, and you're here to provide that in whatever way, shape, form you desire to do that. You know, you just have to wake up and understand who you truly have always been. I think that is really the message over here. You truly have to embody the kind of change you want to see in the world. You know, be your parent that you never had. Be the mother that you never had. Be the father that you never had. You know, be the brother that you wanted. Be the sister that you wanted for other people. You know, and no kindness given is ever wasted. You know, so just know that all the love you put out into the world will come back to you. It's quite literally the law. You know, think about it. You know, don't resist whatever you're feeling right now. Just open the floodgates. Just open the floodgates, pile number one. Let whatever is coming through, let it come through. Let it set you free. Because you're meant to be free. You're not meant to suffer in this life. And you're in fact meant to help other people raise their vibration. You know, and you will understand this one day about yourself, you know. Any other messages? Yeah, so that's all I have for pile number ones. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go check out Justice Jupiter on her channel. Go show her lots of love. Go binge watch all her content. Check out part 1 of this reading, which is overcoming your obstacles. And I know pile number 1, you have quite a few obstacles, right? So please do go check out her reading. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the rebirth card, this is your reading on finding your bliss. So please do go check out the first part of this reading, which is overcoming your obstacle, which is on Justice Jupiter's channel. So I will link her reading in the description box below, so you can definitely go watch the first part of this reading. Go subscribe to her channel, go show her lots of love, go binge watch all her content, and let her know you came from Tarot Yogi. And having said that, we'll jump into the reading, and we're asking, how can you find your bliss after the obstacles you have overcome, pile number 2. We have 10 of Vajras, 3 of Vajras, 9 of Vajras, the Hermit, 4 of Vajras, Hangman, 8 of Jewels, 4 of Jewels, 6 of Jewels. So the Vajras in this deck are the swords. You know, we have a lot of swords. So let's address that. You're very intelligent, pile number 2. You guys are very, very intelligent. And I think you really beat yourself down on the fact that despite you knowing so much, being so intelligent, how do you choose the wrong people? How do you get yourself in the kind of situations that you get yourself into? You know, there's a lot of crucifixion that happens. You know, you're very suffocated in the bounds of your own ego, pile number 2, which is pretty much the problem of it. I feel, pile number 2, you may have a lot of seemingly visible distractions in your life. You feel as if right now anything and everything happening in your life, you know, especially we're on retrograde right now, and you know, I'm having a very retrograde-y time in this retrograde. So you know, you may really feel as if things are really going against you right now, but let me tell you, that is not the case. You know, if you have been rejected, if you have been abandoned, that is for the good. You may not see it, but you kind of need to see it for yourself, and you will eventually. You know, things could have been much, much worse for you. You need to know just how divinely protected you truly are. You know, and I feel the first phase of your life is not what the second phase of your life is supposed to look like. You know, I feel you have been the target of a lot of unwarranted hate, a lot of unwarranted things. You know, you could have probably been at the wrong place at the wrong time, but even that has much deeper reason. You know, I'm sure your obstacle reading is like really, really intense, you know, because this is very intense, you know, and a lot of you finding your bliss is, firstly, when it comes to finding your bliss, you have to understand that it is not your fault what happened to you. It is truly not your fault, even if people have gaslit you into believing that, you know. We have the dogs barking, so we'll take that as confirmation. You need to know that whatever happened to you, all the bad things that happened to you, it wasn't your fault. There was no way you could have avoided those things happening. There was no way you could have had previous knowledge of what occurred, you know, and I feel you haven't forgiven yourself. And, you know, it's like the sword hanging on your head, you know, and it's very heavy. I'm feeling very heavy right now, you know, and the first step to finding your bliss is accepting that there's nothing you could have done. Not because you are helpless, but just because, you know, certain things are there, you know, and the 10 of Vajras in this deck, you know, we have this Naga creature sort of cursing the human, you know, and it is sort of believed in the Tibetan culture that, you know, a lot of your diseases, a lot of bad things that happen to you are sort of born from, like, you know, just the environment. For example, how we had COVID happening from the bats, you know, monkeypox happening, you know, all those things, you know, there's no way you can blame anyone for it, you know, it just happens. And sometimes you are caught in the line of fire. And I feel that has happened with you more than once, you know, so my heart really goes out to you. But the second step to finding your bliss over here is not pushing away the pain. You know, yes, pain has occurred, but the only way through is to feel it. Because if you don't feel this pain, it's going to create blocks within you. It's going to create blocks, and you're going to retaliate, and you're going to be acting out of that same pain and that same hurt that happened maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. You know, you will not be able to grow. You will not be able to truly ascend. You'll not be able to truly grow over here, pile number 2. So it's very important that you put down the sword. You know, you put down the sword against yourself. You know, and by feeling the pain, not pushing away any of the feelings that you have, because I think there's a lot lurking deep within your subconscious. I feel there is a lot happening in your subconscious that you don't even want to, like, bring up to surface, you know. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you with everything that has occurred. You need to give yourself the time. You have to extend the same grace to yourself that you extend to other people. It's very, very important over here. You know, please show yourself some kindness. It's very, very deserved. You know, you have to allow yourself to feel the pain. That's the only way you can be free of it. That's the only way you can set yourself free of the pain, is by feeling it. You know, and it's like, you know, when something is hidden in the dark, it has more power than if it was brought into the light. You know, we are more afraid of the unknown. We fear more of things that haven't occurred than things we sort of can predict, right? So it's very important for you to learn to outtrick your mind, because you have a very powerful mind, and having a powerful mind means it can even work against you, you know. And the Vajras in this deck, it's about transforming your anger into mirror-like wisdom, you know, and that is very much possible over here, right? And we have the 9 of Vajras, and I feel which is 9 of Swords, you know, so you fear a lot. You're very, very scared. You probably even, we have the 9 of Vajras card, so you need to understand that you, especially with the kind of mind you have, you may be extra nervous, you may be extra fidgety, you may really get nerves, pile number 2, and by that, you know, you worry yourself more than you need to, and that stresses you out even more, you know. Therefore, you suffer more than you have to, and you have to realize that that is actually a choice that you're making for yourself. You very much can choose here to not to suffer as much like you are suffering right now. You know, you very much have the choice to not suffer as much as you're suffering right now. And you have to make that choice for yourself. You have to understand that, yes, there is pain, but only by feeling that pain, you're going to be free of it. I feel I'm repeating myself again, but, you know, it sort of ties into it, because I think, you know, you assume the worst. So you already experienced the worst, you know, and that hasn't even occurred, but you have already suffered on behalf of something that hasn't even happened for you, you know. And I'm super nervous too, you know. I have a Gemini moon and I'm a Gemini rising, you know, and I'm super nervous too, even if it doesn't always, like, translate in front of the camera, right? And you have to understand that there are ways to work around your nervousness. And what you need to mainly do is you need to learn to redirect your thoughts towards things that you want and work towards them, because it will be given to you. You know, trust me. If I tell you to not think about a purple duck, you're going to think about a purple duck. You know, even if a purple duck doesn't exist, that's just the nature of our monkey mind. But if you focus your mind towards what you like doing, you focus your mind towards what you want, instead of the purple duck, you know, you'll actually get that. You know, again, these are simple tricks, you know, that you have to out-trick your mind from tricking you into believing certain things about yourself, you know. And your own inner narrative, your own thoughts about yourself is pretty much what creates your reality. We are that powerful when it comes to mind, you know. We are that powerful with our thoughts and our words, right? That's why we have spells, right? Which is pretty much spelled out, you know. And that itself is, it holds its inherent power when it's spoken, right? And you have to understand that your thoughts are this powerful, you know. You are this powerful whether you want to be or not, Pilometer. And the only way to find your bliss is honestly being alone. I don't know, I think someone in this pile needs to hear it, you know. No one is going to truly be there for you. Like, to find your true bliss, pile number 2, I think you really have to find your solitude. And I'm not saying loneliness, you have to find your alone time. It's very important for you to go inwards. It's very, very important for you to go inwards, you know. And the sadhu is pointing towards the 4 of Vajras, and 4 of Vajras is meditation. You know, it's quite literally the Dhyan Mudra. So you have to meditate. You have the aptitude for it. And you will only be able to meditate if you give yourself a quiet place to meditate. It's very important that you find even 5-10 minutes in a day. I know 5-10 minutes are kind of less for me, but you know, I need at least a few hours. But if you can't get a few hours, at least 10 minutes, pile number 2. 5 minutes is too less, yes. At least 10 minutes, get that for yourself where you can be alone, where you can meditate, because that is going to help you realize things. That is going to help you realize things. That is where the flower of your realization will bloom. By allowing yourself to not feel overwhelmed, to learning to quiet your mind, even when things around you are like going haywire. You know, finding yourself very centered within yourself, you know, that will set you free and help you truly tap into your bliss, you know. And it's very interesting, you know, we have the Hermit and we have the Hangman on either side of the four of swords, the 4 of Vajras, you know. So meditation, again, I'm repeating myself, but it's very important that you meditate. It's very, very, very important that you get into the habit of meditating. Maybe if you can't sit down and meditate, find a walking meditation, find a dancing meditation. There are all kinds of meditation. So don't give me an excuse that you can't sit and meditate, you know. There are many walking meditations. There are meditations where you exhaust yourself, you know. So find what works for you, because something will. Something will. And even if you don't know what you truly want, what you truly desire, give yourself the time to figure it out. You're not going to find the answers when your mind is so nervous, when you're so filled with thoughts and anguish. You're going to find answers when you're doing nothing, you know, all the beauty channels when you're doing nothing. When your mind is truly empty, that's when you will find answers, and that's when you will be able to even act upon what is truly required of you to do right now. I really want you to understand this, you know. And again, the sadhu is pointing towards the 4 of Vajras, you know, and that's how you will find your bliss. It is through meditative states. Like, I wish I could tell you that maybe just go to the amusement park, go to the mall, you'll feel better. I know a lot of people feel better just going to the mall. I don't. And I feel, you know, you, pile number 2, are a lot like me. You know, you would feel very drained going to the mall. You know, you would rather go for a walk in the forest or a national park around you, right? Or maybe go to the beach or something like that. So let go of even your people-pleasing tendencies, because you do have a lot of them, you know. Let go of your people-pleasing tendencies. It's not going to help, you know. It's, and what you're also doing here is you're sacrificing your own limitations of your own ego. You're expanding your own ego, you know. You're pushing your own boundaries, which is a very powerful thing to do. Not a lot of people can push their own boundaries, you know. People love being confined in like their ego spaces, right? And I think you understand that you're kind of over it. You know, you see the inherent suffering in just people going about their daily lives in ignorance. You know, you understand that you can't keep going on that way. So finding your bliss is a lot about getting into these transcendental states and even transcending your pain. And the only way to transcend your pain is to feel your pain. You can't keep repressing it, because it's going to create blockages within you. And right now you're really being called upon in this process of your rebirth. Like I said, you know, the first part of your life is not supposed to be like the second part of your life, you know. You're meant to experience a lot of different lifetimes in this lifetimes, you know, and you're meant in this lifetime, and you know, it's like you're being pushed through the birth canal while being alive. So you can just imagine how painful that is. You know, you can't go back to how your life used to be ever again. And that is a blessing also in a way, right? Because there were just so many things not working out for you. And right now is really the time for you to keep your eyes on the prize and go for it. You know, you're really being called here to do something. You know, it's a general reading, so all of y'all are going to be doing something very, very different over here. But whatever your natural calling is, please follow it, because you're going to be creating something so much more bigger than yourself. And you will also find your bliss in working very hard. You know, you could have prominent Virgo placements, but you know, all Virgos I know, they derive their sense of self by what they do. You know, and that's not necessarily always a bad thing until you like start limiting yourself there. But you know, finding meaning of your life by repeated daily hard work. You know, we have 8 of Jewels, which is 8 of Pentacles, and you know, 8 of Pentacles is what? It's you repeatedly doing work. And what is work? It's just repetition of what you always do, right? You're just becoming better at your skill. You're just fine-tuning your skill. You're becoming more sharp with your skill, you know, and that's where you will find your bliss. You're a doer. You know, pile number 1 was a giver, pile number 2 is a doer. You know, it is in the doing, it is in the sacrifice that you will find your bliss. You could definitely like be into philosophy of some kind, hermetics or yoga, Eastern philosophy, whatever, you know. You're very, very philosophical, and or if you feel you're not, you need to explore that. You very much have it within you, you know, and you're being called right now to go inwards. You're being called right now to really conserve yourself. Don't give yourself to anyone and everyone. Your energy is very, very important. And when you learn to respect your energy will grow, you know. So it's very important that you learn to keep to yourself, because I feel there will be divine timing when you will be called to give. You know, you have a lot to give, but right now you have to fill your own cup and not believe everything your mind tells you about yourself. It's very important that you don't disillusion yourself, and you stop blaming yourself, and you stop even blaming others. Taking full accountability for your life, you know, and understanding that even all the bad experiences, in a way you manifested that for yourself because you had to learn certain lessons. Even if you don't understand what that lesson was in that moment, pile number 2. It's very important that you understand this. I'll shuffle some oracle. Anything I missed here, Spirit? How can pile number 2 find their bliss? We have the horse, which reads freedom. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. You're meant for great things, pile number 2. You have very big destinies. You have bigger destinies than most people around you. You know, and that's not your fault. That's simply not your fault. You know, so stop worrying so much about what other people think of you, what other people feel. It is really the time for you to put in the hard work for yourself, because you're creating a beautiful, beautiful legacy for yourself, which is going to last even beyond you. You know, and horses, they go long distances and they're very, very strong. You know, they carry other people with them. And you have that strength within you to carry other people on your back. You know, so that just shows you how powerful you are. You're as majestic as a horse. You know, and before we had like Ferraris, we just had horses, right? People were literally like climbing mountains with the help of horses. You know, you are a horse and you're meant to run the marathon. You're not meant to run a race. You're meant to go all the way, pile number 2. You know, and you're meant to have a lot of beauty and abundance in this life. You know, and that's how you will find your bliss. By firstly, you know, stop like blaming yourself for everything that has occurred for you. You know, there's a lot of blame over here that's happening. So firstly, that blame needs to go. Secondly, allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. You know, only by your heart being cracked open can your heart chakra expand. And that's the only way. That's the only way we can even be more compassionate. You know, we cannot truly understand compassion unless we've already experienced what the other person is going through in a way. You know, in some way, in our own lives, right? So, you know, you're very much connected to earth, but you're also very much connected to heaven. Therefore, you can manifest things easily, and you're meant to manifest. And right now is really the time for you to put in the hard work. You don't have to understand where completely you're going, but I think you have an intuitive inkling as to where you need to go. And right now is really the time for you to put in the work, and that's the only way you will find your bliss. Pile number 2, trust me. Put in the work right now, even if you don't understand, because such beautiful things are happening for you right now. And you know, sky is truly the limit for you. So, you know, you will only get what you feel you are worth and what you feel you deserve and where your self-esteem is. So the bigger your self-esteem, the better things will be given to you. Because you'll only get what you feel you truly deserve, right? So don't delude yourself, pile number 2. Set yourself free. It's very important that you set yourself free, because only you can set yourself free, pile number 2. Please understand this. Any other messages? Yeah, so that's all I have for pile number 2. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow, and If you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go check out the first part of this reading on Justice Jupiter's channel. I will link it in the description box below. She has covered what obstacles are you overcoming. So please do go check out her channel, go show her lots of love, go subscribe to her, go binge watch all her content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the Know Thyself card, this is your reading on how can you find your bliss. Please do go check out the first part of this reading, which is which obstacle are you overcoming, how are you overcoming your obstacles, which is on Justice Jupiter's channel. So please do go check out her channel, go subscribe to her, go show her lots of love, go binge watch all her content, and do check out the first part of this reading on her channel. And having said that, let's jump into your reading, pile number 3, on how can you find your bliss after overcoming all the obstacles that you have overcome. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended master, star family, help me tap into how can pile number 3 find their bliss. Okay, pile number 3, we have 7 of jewels, 3 of jewels, we have strength, we have Asita the seer, which is the magician, we have the wheel of life, which is wheel of fortune, we have Maya the mother, which is high priestess, we have the future emperor, which is emperor, we have moon, and we have 4 of double vajras. This is a very, very powerful reading because we have the magician at one end and we have the high priestess on the other, and we have the emperor and we have the strength. And your significator card is know yourself, know thyself, you know. So finding your bliss is just knowing who you truly are, pile number 3. It's as simple and as complicated as that. I think that's the best way I can put it, you know. And that would pretty much even sum up your reading, you know. So thank you for watching. No, I'm just kidding, you know. Let's go a little deeper, you know. And I think you knowing yourself is going to happen at different phases. It's going to happen in layers. You know, you yourself contain a lot of layers that you don't know about. You know, you could have prominent 8th house, 12th house placements. You know, you may learn something new about yourself every day. You know, and I think what you also have to learn about your bliss is just learning to be okay with where you are right now, you know, and not feel as if time is running out. And, you know, you're very, very creative. You're naturally very creative. You could very much do fine arts. You could be a painter, or you could dance, you could sing, you could rap, you could even read tarot, or you're indulging in something creative. Or I feel you used to indulge in something creative which you're not indulging in anymore. You know, and this is the message for you to start indulging in what used to make you happy, because it will make you happy again. You have to sort of take back your power. You know, I think certain of your dreams didn't come true for whatever reason. You know, life did its own thing and you sort of buried that part of yourself, you know, and you're not very, very happy. You're not very blissful right now because you've really abandoned that part of yourself. And let me tell you one thing about abandonment. You know, anyone and everyone can abandon you. But if you abandon yourself, then that's the worst thing. Even if everyone abandons you and you don't abandon yourself, you know, that it means you've already won, you know. And I think that is a message over here. I think somewhere you have abandoned yourself, and all you have to do right now is just remember who you are. You know, we forget who we are in the process of growing up, you know, and truly growing up is remembering who we are. And I think right now you are at the precipice of that. You know, you have to understand that there is a part of you within yourself that is untouched by any of the afflictions that have occurred in your life. You know, nothing has marred a part of yourself, you know. A lot of you feel less than right now. A lot of you feel, you know, as if your creativity, your art is not going to sustain you. Let me tell you, it is going to sustain you. In fact, your creativity is something that is going to sustain you more than anything else. You know, and I feel right now you're really being called upon to sacrifice. There's something you have to give up. And I think right now, sacrifice is not of like animals or other things. Sacrifice is you sacrificing your own ego. You sacrificing yourself in the current state to get to a higher level, you know. And you will be able to do this. It's very much with you, you know. It's very much your destiny. We have the wheel of life, you know, which is the wheel of fortune. So I think everything bad that has happened in your life has just shown you the mechanics of how things work in the world. And not just in the world, in the universe. Let me rephrase that, you know. And you have been shown something with a greater sight. And don't underestimate that. You may very much have had certain visions, you may be getting certain dreams that you don't understand. Please write down your dreams. God, whatever you believe in, universe, your angels, ancestors, they speak to you through symbols. They don't speak to you through words. You're not going to find like a sentence written on your wall. They will show you some very strange dreams that only you will be able to decipher much later on when something related to that actually happens. Maintaining a dream journal is going to be very important for you, pile number 3. If you can't maintain a dream journal, just write it down on your notes app on your phone. But maintaining things, like having a track record of things, is going to be helpful because it will also make you realize how powerful you are when it comes to manifesting things. And it will also make you feel like you were right always, because I feel you've had a lot of people gaslight you. You've had a lot of people just, drag you through the mud for their own shortcomings, and you're just too nice to let that even occur, I feel. But the message for you over here is, you have to be a doer. You very much have to do, and at the same time, you have to learn to not do, and I know, let me just explain myself properly. You are being divinely guided right now. So you're being divinely guided right now. So, any sort of insight you have is very, very important. There will be times when you have to go within yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you truly want? And you will be given an answer. You will be given an answer, and that's when you have to act on things. So what you have to really master right now, and which will also help you get to your bliss, is knowing when to do something and knowing when to pause. That is you like saving so much of your own energy right then and there. And everything happening in your life right now, even the bad things, even the challenges, all the problems, it's only happening so you can find yourself at a much deeper level, pile number 3. Whether you're overtly philosophical, spiritual, or, you have a very worldly life, a very worldly job, and you're trying to search deeper truths, this is your sign, this is your message. You will be able to find those deeper meanings. You'll be able to find those deeper truths for yourself, and you'll also be able to share it with other people, but you have to do some very, very deep digging. Right now is really the time for you to do some very, very deep digging, because you will find answers that only you can find for yourself. No tarot videos is going to cut it out for you. You're not going to be able to download what you need to download from other readers, things like that. Go inwards, sit with yourself. I think right now you're very, very bored. You're also feeling very, very lazy, lethargic, and you somehow feel as if ignorance is the way. You see other people just going about living their lives and not being bothered by any real thing happening. Those people are dead inside, but you're not. So don't succumb to that. Don't succumb to how everyone around you lives. Pile number 3, it's very important you learn to stand in your truth, and you will find incredible strength. You will only find your strength when you're in the battlefield. You'll only realize how strong you are when you go through difficult things. Only when you endure things do you realize what your endurance is, right? So it's very important over here to not shy away. To not shy away from sacrificing your own limitations. I think you're very bound in your ego right now. You have very set ways of who you are, who you want to be, all those things. Take all that and put it in the dustbin. You don't need any of that. You're just learning to find yourself again. You're just learning to know who you truly are, And everything that has happened till now has happened so you can experience what is next, pile number 3, And you have a lot of great things just waiting to fall into your lap. But right now you're meant to create and collaborate, and know that even if you're alone, you're not truly alone. You have your spirit guides, angels, God, whatever you believe in, protecting you, guiding you, showing you the way right now. And you will not find your bliss in cars. You will not find your bliss in clothes. You will find your bliss in knowing yourself at a much deeper level, because that is not going to perish. Everything is going to perish. Everything around you is impermanent. We ourselves are very impermanent. You're not who you used to be. You're not going to be who you are tomorrow. And that's a great thing, right? We don't jump into the same river twice. Like the candle cannot be lit again. A candle lit once is very different than a candle being relit the second time. Which means you can't go back to how things used to be. And you can only find your peace in knowing who you are at a much deeper level, because once you know yourself, you will never be disillusioned. People can't trick you. People will not be able to fool you. No one will be able to take advantage of you. And I feel all these things have happened, so you sort of learn yourself. And like I said, things for you are going to happen in phases. You're going to have to be in a certain phase for a while, like you're really here to experience anything and everything, the polarity of everything, and I would say you're very balanced. We don't read gender in tarot. You could be male, female, anything in the middle, it doesn't matter. You have your divine masculine and your divine feminine balanced. And I've never gotten this in a reading ever, so pile number 3 is super cool is what I'm trying to say. I either get High Priestess or I either get the Magician. And getting both of them in this reading, it means you're so much in balance. And and even knowing yourself is not like you actually actively trying to know. All you're doing is like remembering who you are. There's a deep remembrance that has to happen at a very soul level over here. And when that happens, nothing around you will really be able to affect you. You're going to be more centered. And in fact, when you're centered, you will be able to even like influence things around you. So you'll be able to make good things happen around you. You're that powerful. You're very much in balance of all the elements right now. You can create whatever you want right now. The greatness is not going to fall from the sky. It has always been within you. Pile number 2. Pile number 3, you may have some messages in pile number 2. So you may want to check that out. But you have to understand that, you are at the center of this wheel. You're not spinning around it. Even though you right now feel as if your life is going up and down. And that is only happening because you haven't tapped into that part of yourself. And the more you tap into that part of yourself, that will again, set you free. It'll bring you to your own inner bliss. And I feel a lot of things will be illuminated. A lot of things will be illuminated. And let me tell you, you guys, pile number 3, it's a general reading, so it's gonna be different for everyone. But whatever you do, you're meant to be a leader. You're meant to be a natural born leader. You're meant to affect a lot of people, in your own journey. And that can only happen once you know yourself. And let me tell you, knowing yourself is not like a one-time thing, right? It is a lifelong process. You're going to be learning about yourself through other people, right? We learn so much about us through others. We learn so much about us and our own relationships by looking at other people's relationships, right? I'm just giving an example over here, So even be very grateful for all the mirrors that are being held, for you. All the bad people in your life also. Even all the bad people in your life, let me tell you, they reflect something that is pre-existing within you. That does not mean you're a bad person. That just means we all have good and bad within us. And we can very much choose to be good or bad. There's a lot of freedom there. There's a lot of power there as to what you choose to do. And right now you are in the process of creating your own reality in a very powerful way. Your future depends on you, pile number 3. And that is the best thing that could happen to you, right? So don't be afraid of your own power is what I'm trying to also say over here, Like I used to be very afraid of my own power, but that only got me into more trouble till I realized, I have to use my gifts for the greater good of all. And you will also be able to do that once you know who you are. Once you know who you are, once you sort of figure that out in phases, like I said, things are going to happen for you in phases, so you're going to learn about like 50% of yourself. Then you're going to learn about the 2% of yourself. Then you're going to learn about the 17% of yourself, and it's going to happen in phases, right? So the more you know who you are, the more easier your path will become, and you will just know who to say to what. You'll be able to channel information, even if you're not like a tarot reader or whatever. It doesn't matter. You will know exactly what to say to whom, because you're meant to show people the way also. And that is, a lot of this is through your own suffering. It is all the obstacles that have happened for you in your life, all the horrible obstacles, things that you shouldn't want to have to deal with. And I think another thing that will make something very easy on your path is just knowing that in order to truly know mystery is to know that you will never be able to truly understand it, So just being able to grasp the fact that you're not going to be able to ever grasp what you're truly trying to grasp, that's when you're going to be set free. And that's when you'll be able to actually gain some real knowledge that is actually beneficial for you and going to help you on your path and help other people, you know. And just be more in, like, the more you're able to know who you are, that's where you will find your bliss. You're not going to, like I said, you're not going to find your bliss in other people, in things, places, substances, whatever, you know. Those things are just going to be very, very empty to you. And learning to reside in your true nature, that's going to set you free, and that's going to really help you find the bliss that you're really looking for in other people, things, places, things right now. You know, you're going to realize that all of that is so very empty. Okay, pile number 3, we have the raccoon card, which reads Inventor. Decide on what you truly want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. Like I said, once you know who you are, you know, you can put on these different hats that is required of you in you know, the conventional world. And, you know, raccoons are very, very crafty. They're inventors, right? And you are a pioneer. You're meant to navigate very difficult terrains. You know, you have that superpower, and it is a superpower, pile number 3. You know, so the more you know yourself, the less it will be complicated for you to, like, maneuver the world. You know, you're not going to suffer as much if you're able to truly abide in your true nature, you know, who you truly are on the inside. You know, I've done a lot of who are you readings, so you may want to check that out. You may have certain messages in that. And, you know, we have the butterfly on this card, you know, so you're going to go through a lot of transformations, and, you know, being grounded through these transformations will be very, very beneficial for you. You know, being able to meditate, being able to walk bare feet on grass, even if you live somewhere cold, you know, maybe just go walk in the forest. Making your life simple is going to help you in a very big way, pile number 3. It's the small changes that add up into the very big change that you're really aiming for over here, you know. And it may not seem really fun right now to make these small changes. You know, you sort of want like a very drastic big change. Let me tell you, it's not going to happen, you know. And you're not even going to be happy if it happens. You're going to truly find your bliss in the small things, in delayed gratification, and understanding that what you're creating has a lot of value, and it's going to help a lot of people in the future, even if you're not able to see it. You know, it's very important that you understand this. Any other messages? Yeah, so that's all I have for pile number 3. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go check out the first part of this reading, which is What Obstacles Are You Overcoming, which is on Justice Jupiter's channel. So please go on her channel, go watch her videos, go subscribe to her, go show her lots of love, and let her know you came from Tarot Yogi. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.